What's up, everybody? Harrick and BX here, and welcome to the newest podcast coming at you each and every single week here on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. Welcome to episode 7 of Breaking the Mold. If audio is your preferred platform, we got you covered. We're on iTunes and Google Play through Podcast Addict. Please remember to subscribe and leave a 5-star review, as it'll really help the show out. If you're watching on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's as not called to the chat. I suggest you do so because it will chance to win something from one of us here on the panel. If you've been joining us the past few weeks, I think you know whose turn it is tonight. Let's say what's up to the rest. Up, Energon doing pop.
Yo, what up?
Energon,
you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I wasn't sure. I kind of cracked up a little bit there.
You are correct.
I'm sorry.
I'm a little cracky. Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up?
What's up? All right, next up, Brian Brink.
Hey, what's up, people? Happy day before Valentine's Day.
Oh boy,
You all taking out your sweethearts, having a good time, spending money on things other than toys, crap like that.
Hallmark.
Yeah, Hallmark. You got 365 days a year to say I love you.
Yep, exactly. Next up, Big Dom. How are you?
What's going on, guys?
Hi.
Hey. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
All right, next up, the birthday boy himself, Extra Zero.
Happy
Oh,
birthday.
Oh.
Happy birthday.
Are we gonna do like a live birthday singing here?
No.
No, you can't.
Okay,
It's
good.
copyrighted.
Happy
Oh,
birthday.
yeah, TGI Fridays version. TGIT to everybody out there. Glad to be here once again. And yes, yesterday was my birthday, and I got some cool stuff, and I got some cool stuff for myself. I guess we'll touch back on that in a little bit.
All right. Next up, G Money.
How's everybody doing? It's good to be here.
Doing good,
Glad to
Gary.
be
Doing
Good, buddy. How you
It's
doing?
good. Excellent. I'm doing really well.
Cool.
Very, very well.
Happy Tuesday. All right, and last but not least, Pigment Surgery. How you doing tonight?
Wait. He's gonna
Yes, you.
Oh.
he's gonna call us meatbags.
No.
Now he has to say yub nub.
Somebody talking my language?
Yeah, like when Dave saw your appearance tonight, he was still like the song suddenly started playing in his head.
Yeah.
How are y'all doing?
Good, man.
Good.
Good, brother. Good. It's gonna be a good night. Let's run it back real quick for some collect and connect. Brian Brink.
Yo, hey, I got to spend some time in person with Dom. It was lovely. We went to a place
Awesome.
called Zolocon. If you're in the Philadelphia
Zolos.
area, I highly recommend checking it out. It's a cool venue and weird, crazy shit that you'll pick up, like the robotic missile land cruiser robot covered in crazy dust that doesn't come off after first washing of your hands, believe it or not.
Cocalina.
Dude, I was like, I'm
Anthrax.
hoping that's not asbestos. Don't breathe that shit in.
I'm just like picturing like Brink like Howard Hughes, and he's got like the shoe boxes on his feet and like the hospital gown. He's like got a toothbrush, unclean.
And so it was a good time. I just want to say it was fun. Again, all the crazy shit. But Brix's Lego shop is in the area, so you get to go there, see what that's about, and I got to pick up some things for Chuck, some Battle Beasts, and I reached out to a guy on the Open Your Toys podcast, one of the hosts there, and helped him with some Four Horsemen Birdmen. So that was cool too. It's Alias Angel Alias, cool dude.
They were there again, the
Yeah.
Mythic Legions, whatever.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
And
Those were the
And
people
Dom-
that were selling those like Egyptian-looking like figures and characters.
Yep.
Like bird figures and
yep.
the ones you picked up before.
Yeah, I didn't
Nice.
pick up any more, but those figures are so phenomenal looking. And like, I did my business for that guy, and I walked away as soon as I could because, I mean, they could just drain my wallet easily.
Oh yeah, they look incredible. Like the level of detail on really, really nice. Really nice.
Yep.
Awesome. Did you actually get to check out Brick's shop?
Yep. We went there, and dude, it's growing. He's got more shelf space, more displays for merchandising. My all-time favorite childhood Lego set was there on display. He had it for sale, which is the Lego Galactic or Galaxy Commander. Pardon me. Friggin', I'm gonna build that again one of these this year. It's gonna be fun. I just got to dig all the parts out of bins. But yeah, it's good times. Gort was there as well, and Mike Kincaid
nice.
from the Blackout and Shout podcast, and Hung from 215 Toys was there.
Yeah, you have it set up.
He was grinding. Yep. So good times.
Nice. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit later on.
Yep.
All right. And a John Addict. What about you, bro?
What's collect and connect? I haven't done much connecting. A little bit
Fuck you,
today.
Dave.
A
Bullshit.
little bit today, actually.
Bullshit.
I connected with quite a few people. Put a random thought on my head on Facebook today. I had a bunch of people hit me up, and I'm kind of glad I did. You know, I got to touch base with people I haven't done in a while. So I guess it hit home. So that's a good thing.
Awesome. That's glad to hear it.
Yeah.
What?
Oh wait, I'm supposed to say what I got too, like if I got any toys and shit. I finally got my SH Figuarts speeder.
Wait, you got a figure arts toy? No.
No, but listen,
Not you.
it's the only one I did not have.
Is this
So
a new rabbit hole?
No. Fuck you up. Fine, okay, I didn't get shit. Go on.
Speeder is nice.
Yeah.
Like that. All right, Dom, what about you, bro?
Well, I went to the ZoloCon and I was able to help out some friends. I picked up
friends?
Yeah, I have friends these days. It's amazing. It's amazing.
World
Yeah.
coming to.
I know. And no, I was able to help Dave. I picked up him a Daredevil, Mezco Daredevil.
Come on, you're not supposed to tell
For-
people that. I'm supposed to use that next week, bro.
Yeah.
I'm broke.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because tax season is over, bro. I ain't getting shit.
Don't lie, Dave. Don't lie. But and then I was able to hook up Russ and I got him a Red Lion from Voltron Classic Series. I walked into a Target and there was just a single Red Lion hanging out there, so I wasn't sad to break up his set, so I just picked it up. I knew he was looking for a Red Lion.
Dude, I
was
love
watching
Tom right now that you've got some lens flare going on. In
Oh, really?
Camera. Yeah, it's awesome.
in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's like J.J. Abrams directed this episode.
Thank
Wait,
God.
can you see the J Ruse underscore on the bottom of the list?
Take a shot, guys, and enjoy it. But and then I was able to find Nick Brammer, the Red Zeo Ranger from the Power Rangers Legacy set.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago.
it
You
was
mentioned that. That's
it was
awesome.
hard.
Yeah, he did.
I rolled up into Target and most Targets are resurfacing their whole layout. So
The reset's like going hard right now.
yeah, so they're moving toy sections to the back so if your Target's having that used to have their electronics and their toy sections on the left-hand side of the store, I guess they're bringing it all the way to the back of the store.
Shout out to the left-hand side.
Exactly. So
Holla.
I guess at that time someone hit it and it was back on the pegs and I found it and
You were able to
I bought
hook up a honey child.
yeah. So somebody's loss was our gain, and I'm going to be sending that out to him shortly. So
Womp womp.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
I know,
he mentioned
I know he's been looking for the Tommy figures, so that was the next one that was up. So
yeah, he mentioned that last night. He said you were able to get him that one. He's still looking for the Black Dino Thunder one.
yeah,
and
I don't think that one
Turbo
came out yet.
one.
So I don't think the Black Dino one came out yet because I saw the blue and the red Dino in the set, but
Yeah, the Black Zeo Ranger, I think, was the one that shipped first.
was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's Jason. So it's cool.
It's going to be hard to get. But
he wants the Tommy figs.
I'm sure
on my
after
lookout for
the
that.
Chinese New Year that stuff is going to be filling up the pegs. But right now,
I kind of though
ridiculous
come up
prices
with
for
a
it.
Tommy Oliver box set that's bigger than the SDCC one, where they'll probably do every iteration of the dude.
Of the Tommy set, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's about it. And I was able to pick up for myself. I did the reverse flash Mezco figure. I was able to find that at ZoloCon, so I was looking out for a really good price for that figure, and was able to get it under retail. So I was happy with that.
Awesome.
And that's it for me.
All right, cool. Extra zero.
Oh, so I want to give a heartfelt thank you to everybody that wished me happy birthday. A lot of people in the community. It was really awesome to see all those messages pouring in yesterday. Otherwise, on the Connect side, I really didn't have all that much, except Jason L hooked me up with a new retailer. His name is Louise, and he runs East Coast Toys. And I treated myself to a couple birthday gifts. I got myself a LG OLED TV, but I also got this bad boy here.
I thought you were picking up that TV.
No,
Exactly.
it weighs less. The TV's actually thinner than my phone, which is crazy. But Louise got this to me in a day, which is incredible. He's in New York, I'm in Maryland, and definitely a good dude. Check out his store. Great customer service, really personable. So if you're looking for someone in the community, I definitely want to give him a huge thank you, because I was happy everything came packed like professionally, and I was just shocked to have that within a day. So that was a really cool connection, and a really cool figure to get. I mean, I didn't think I was going to get an Omega Guardian, but here I am.
Nice. I remember when you got the original Omega and shit like that. So
Yeah.
glad you got the space for all that.
I don't have the space for it. That's the problem. That's why I'm currently house hunting. And hopefully I'll be broadcasting from a new furnished basement later on this year. And then, of course, I'll be bitching that I don't have any money for toys. It's the catch-22. Small space,
That is.
disposable income.
You can have the Guardian and the Omega holding up your coffee table. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Dude, just make sure you ask for that seller's assistance when you go into closing.
Yeah.
All right,
But
nice.
Just marry Rich.
Just marry Rich. If only.
Solve all your problems.
Where's my sugar mama?
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Find one for me where you're at.
Oh shit!
All right, G Money, you're next.
So we got the ROC Wellness Challenge going. We got a little over 6 weeks left. I posted the updates there. I think I'll just say, some good support in the community for that, even from some people who aren't actually in the challenge themselves. And this is where it gets tough, man, because look, we did it for 4 months on purpose to develop some good habits and routines. And there's still a lot of time to make progress. The top several positions are not too far apart from each other.
Coming for you,
so-
Joe H.
Yes,
Shouting
yeah.
you
You got
out.
Jason,
Coming for you.
Joe,
Right.
Jose's right in there in the lead.
The weather's
And
getting
then,
warm.
yeah,
Get
it's like-
outside.
So lots of time for that still. As far as the collecting piece this week, I'll just share. It's not really a collectible, but it may stint my my purchases for a while. I got a new car today. I actually purchased for myself. So we have bought a Jeep Wrangler for the household, since we're down here on the coast and you can actually go like on the beaches and stuff if you've got a 4-wheel drive. So I've got a 4-door Wrangler Unlimited that's lifted 5 inches with some giant tires and wheels. So, it should be pretty
Does it
fun for the
transform?
summer. It does not. But,
All right. So then, why are you talking about? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking.
but wait till I'll post some pictures over the next few weeks when I get a few other tweaks done to it. So
We
That's
don't
awesome,
give a
man.
shit to Gary.
it should be pretty cool.
That's awesome, bro.
That's all right. That's all right. Until you see it at ToyCon with the top off and the doors off, and then you want to go for a ride. And
Can you take me for a
I'll be like-
ride, Gary?
What, are you trying to drop my
I'll be
panties,
like,
Gary?
I don't know.
He's like standing out the sunroof flexing.
Jesus
So
Christ. All buttered up.
Listen, I think it's important that we show anyone listening that, look, we care about some other stuff sometimes besides just, plastic and die cast cracked, right?
Mhm.
No, that's awesome, bro. That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, I'll put some pictures up over the next week or so. It's pretty cool though. We should be excited.
Toyota Corolla.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Definitely a nice pickup. I think that's definitely deserves pickup of the week right there.
Yeah, no. How are we gonna compete with that? Like, I'm gonna have to buy a boat.
Listen,
Like, what
you
the
gotta buy a boat or some jet
A
skis.
fucking
Right?
yacht. All right, JD. What about you, bro?
Boy. I got a bunch of.
Oh boy.
Boy. I got a bunch of Black Series stuff. I guess I'll just go through like the highlights of what I got. I finally have a set of Tauntauns, and I have a Luke and a
Set of tauntaunts.
yeah. That's right. That's right.
I didn't know that you were gonna go through it full blow.
Man, that should have been the
Hey,
show.
you know.
Congratulations.
I mean, this was the talk of finger bagging, you know. I made that leap. Yeah. So I got both Han and Luke with Tauntauns and a Wampa. I got a San Diego Comic-Con Jabba and the was it Entertainment Earth, the Shadow Trooper set.
You think that
Okay.
was easy.
Yeah. And
Hey,
Other-
was that Hoth, Luke, and Han? That's 6-inch.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
yep. Yeah.
Hmm.
On
Look at Brian just brewing up some thoughts.
That was very like Yoda-esque.
I was going for Chamberlain,
see it.
Dark Crystal. I hate your whimper.
What else did I get? I got it. The Nerf rival, the Star Wars Battlefront 2, the GameStop exclusive Nerf gun, and it has a Boba Fett mask with it. It's pretty awesome. They're on
Now,
clearance.
does that get used?
It will. we have hey at work we have some pretty epic Nerf battles.
That's awesome.
Or we'll pick one person and just annoy the shit out of them and just shoot them all day long.
Yeah, those little Nerf, the rival balls, those things pack a fucking punch.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Work. I thought you were talking about
Yeah,
like role play in
sure.
the bedroom or something.
Well,
I mean,
He calls it words, but you know.
Yeah. Thanks, Gary. You got it. And
Yeah,
then
that's when
I
you
got
pick up the Nerf gun and start shooting the shit out of it.
yeah. And then I actually completed everything that the Tamashii Nations movie realization figures.
Ooh.
I got the Shadow Trooper, so I have everything to date that they've released.
For
Wow.
Star Wars.
Those are those
Yep.
Japanese like Shogun like inspired ones, right?
Yep.
Nice.
Wait, what are you trying to outdo me, JD?
Those look
Always.
incredible, right?
He ain't trying. He's just outdoing Dave. So
He said complete, Dave. Did you
Yeah.
hear? He said complete.
Here's
I'm
the big one.
complete too. Hey, I'm complete too.
You complete my
Yeah,
ass.
Good.
Those would be the ones I would
Dave,
want.
you complete me.
Oh,
Aw.
when you say complete my ass, was there an emphasis on the eat?
As far as connecting, the only thing I connected was my knee and my ass to the ice. That was it.
Ah, shit.
I slipped on some ice earlier
Ooh,
like
ooh,
or
damn.
later last week. I'm okay.
Did you
my knees
fall on
all
your
fucked up.
Cossacks?
Coccyx.
Coccyx?
Cossus.
No, all the weight pretty much on my knee, but I'm okay.
Oh, cool.
I gimp around every now and again. But
You've always been a gimp.
yes,
Glad to hear you're okay.
yeah, I'm good. Funny thing is, it was right outside my house. My mom's like, "You should sue," and I'm like, "I'm gonna
boy.
sue myself." Cool.
Does that even work?
I think the lawyer wins in that one.
Yeah. I don't know if we could do this as a conflict of interest.
Could you technically do that if you were like a LLC or something like that, like a corporation? You know, then you would have like insurance, and then you could probably technically sue.
I don't know.
We need Robert D in here as a
Yeah.
guest.
I don't think you could because how
I
could
doubt you could do it to
force
yourself. Yeah, you
for not fucking
can't.
keeping any maintenance around your fucking place.
Is this what the fuck we're talking about?
I don't know.
Something about Realm of Regret. Or...
The Tuesday tangents right there.
right.
Let me see for myself.
Hey,
were
what'd
you
you
done,
get?
JD? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I
done.
didn't mean to
What'd you get,
steamroll
buddy?
you.
What'd you get, Jose?
I didn't get shit.
What?
Actually, this past week. But to follow up on a couple of weeks ago, on one of the topics that we were covering, postal carrier horror stories, I did finally get my package from the Land of the Rising Sun. No, it wasn't from Japan. It was actually come from China. It came after like 6 weeks, and it was the Wei Zhang Megatron, and it's pretty dope. I haven't transformed them yet because he came in robot mode. So when they come like that, I tend not to transform them right away. But he's pretty cool. Very happy with him. He's big. It's gonna be perfect piece just to put next to MPP-10 on the shelf and
Now, did
kind
you
of
get
enjoy him for that.
Did you get the laser beak silencer, or did that come with it?
Yeah,
Jose?
yeah, the silencer. Yeah, silencer came with it. I would have been so pissed if I wouldn't have gotten that because I pre-ordered that figure like
Just to get that.
2016, like when they first announced it. I'm just like, all right, pre-order, and didn't know when it was coming out or anything.
Holy shit.
So it took a little bit over 6 weeks, but it finally came, thankfully. So at least that was resolved, and didn't really have to worry about anything. I did have a concern though. Like there is a particular like the knee joint. There's a piece that tabs in to the leg, and if you don't have that piece tabbed in, if you try to bend the knee, you're going to be stressing a hinge right behind the knee. And it was happening with my figure. I thought it was a defect, and I just saw that it was a certain piece right inside the leg that wasn't tabbed in properly, and just shows you that it tabbed in catastrophic effect on your figure. So thankfully I figured it out because I thought it was busted, and it wasn't. So once that was squared away, like I was really, really impressed.
So what do you like more? Do you like the Wei Zhang Megatron or the Takara?
You know what? Like they're different. Thankfully, like this is definitely like an original design.
Yeah.
You know what? Initially, I didn't like all the little kibbly bits like on the Sakara, but just like the way it was on the Sunstreaker, it's almost like necessary because of all the articulation and stuff that they gave it. This one, it has nice articulation and it's very clean and smooth looking, so it definitely has the edge over the Sakara version in that respect. It's very, very clean. But I think overall, I do prefer the Sakara version.
Yeah, I've seen it. I haven't had much time to mess with it. A buddy of mine got one, and I think I prefer the Takara one as well. I mean, I really like what Takara has been doing lately with Megatron and Sunstreaker. I'm looking forward to seeing the next releases. Like I'm hyped for Dinobot. So for me, I'd say right now they as much as I like third party, I think that Takara has come back and has become my personal gold standard for, where I want Transformers to be, what I want Masterpiece to be, where I'm getting the feels.
Hold on, sir. Didn't you say Sunstreaker was the best MP ever made?
I did.
He just said. Well, he was just saying that's what he feels like.
No, didn't you say third party is your new gold standard?
No.
All right, sorry, I was reading the chat. I was selective hearing.
You drinking that time?
Brian?
Yeah, I am, and I need another.
No, I would say as much as I like third party, I think that Takara is still my gold standard for it's just like when you think like, man, how can it get any better than this? Like all that speculation that went into Sun Surge, right? And everybody's saying, I don't think Takara can make a better product than Sun Surge, and they come out and make.
Dude, as soon as I opened Sun Surge, I was like, well, I'm glad I don't have a shelf.
There were plenty of people. We're not going to name names, but there were plenty of people. And, then there's also one person with an extremely bent finger that doesn't think it's better. But I personally think that Sunstreaker is the best Masterpiece figure ever made.
You know what? I do agree with you in that respect as far as like what Takara is doing, like with the Megatron. Again, like I said, seeing all the photos before actually getting it in hand, I wasn't kind of feeling like the Ghibli bits, to it, but different story.
It's stuff
and that Sunstreaker is the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's the same thing. Like I know Jay Ruse spoke about it on Into the Realm about, and I think it's kind of been discussed in the community as far as like aesthetic versus, I guess, maybe function. And you know what, like I like the articulation on that Sunstreaker. Like to me, like as a person that likes to take, do toy photography, um I will take all the articulation like I could get, like that's why I love SH Figure Arts, because that they're almost like unmatched
Oh,
with
absolutely.
that. And it's only like 1,000 toys that, which is a smaller independent company coming out recently that is kind of, kicking everybody's ass as far as like articulation is concerned. Sorry, you hear that? It's
Yeah.
Sink. Sounds like it's swallowing a fucking cat.
Sorry. You know what was really cool? Just one more thing about Sunstreaker is like watching, like we talked about it on the Hangouts, the unbroadcasted Hangouts, and it was really cool seeing your reaction and Dave's reaction to the engineering. Like it took me back to like what I couldn't see when I got that figure, and I didn't go into it necessarily blind, but I had the aha and the wow moments.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And when you guys were messing with it and I got to see your reactions to it, that was really cool, those aha and wow moments. And to me, that was like what Masterpiece was all about. That was why I fell back in love with Transformers, was like when I got MPO1 and it's like, oh my God, he's got the wrist communicators, he's got a matrix, the matrix lights up, the matrix opens, rubber tires, a moving mouth, and Sunstreaker does a lot of that with the tooling, the engineering, and the articulation. It's just stuff you wouldn't expect it to do.
Mm-hmm. So Jordan, that's actually an interesting point. You kind of got me thinking a little bit. Like I'm curious. So you used the phrase like gold standard, right? I'm just curious, like, what the rest of you guys like. What does that mean to you when you hear that term? Because it kind of triggered a couple of thoughts for me. But I'm just curious what you guys think. Like, what is the gold standard for you in terms of like a specific company, for a product line that you like?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just piggyback real quick on what.
If we're talking Transformers, I mean,
I think anything. I don't think I wouldn't. Yeah,
This isn't just a Transformers show.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Transformers, so I think the gold
talk
standard
Figure Arts too.
is
They could have been.
I'm thinking Transformers. So Transformers gold standard for me is obviously Takara, because they're the ones who brought us the Masterpiece line, and the third party's been around just as long, or followed suit, but essentially they're the ones that we're waiting on. We're waiting on. Hey, like you even heard Tyler last week. He's like, if Takara does a Devi, I might just have to get that one. Somebody who's completely out of Transformers said, hey, if Takara does a Devastator, I might buy it.
He was also apprehensive to sell his like Takara like core cons too.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Gary, to answer your question, mine is what company do I resort to as at the end of the day, buying my definitive figure. So it's for me, for Transformers, it's definitely Takara, and I use, as probably the majority of a lot of collectors, third party still as a placeholder, because they're fast. They're first to market on a lot of these characters, and they're great to buy to fill that void. And whenever Takara decides to fucking do the figure, I'll buy it. But it's unfortunate that they can't speed up their production and really give us the characters that we're looking for. It would save a lot. It would save me a lot of money because I wouldn't feel so quick to buy a third party, because I knew the official company is putting it out faster. But that's not the case. That's not the world that we live in. So unfortunately, I lean towards that third party, spend that money, and sometimes I'll have regret the fact that I did, because the official came out with something better. But
so I can't help but
Don,
wonder.
what do you?
Yeah, go ahead, Jose.
Sorry, I wanted to ask you, like, all right, so think about it like outside like the Masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? Because Takara is really, that's the high end collectors, grade product.
So let's take it. Let's take it to Star Wars. Let's take it to Star Wars. So you got Black Series on the market. You got SH Figure Arts, and then you got Hot Toys.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on your what you can afford.
It's a different scale though. Like, how can you?
Yeah. Let's take Hot Toys out of it. So let's just say Black Series and SH Figure Arts, 6-inch figures. So you're right. Like with Black Series, I always felt a lacking of the human characters. The Hot Toys, you got the Black Series, and SH Figure Arts, 6-inch figures. So you're right. Like with Black Series, I always felt a lacking of the human characters. The Hot Toys, you got the Black Series, and SH Figure Arts, 6-inch figures. So you're right. Like with Black Series, I always felt a lacking of the human characters. The So I go out and I buy the SH Figure Arts, a more expensive figure, but they nailed the scopes on the human characters a little bit better on the head scopes. So at that particular time, I'll buy that figure. But now there has been an aggressive, undertaking that Hasbro's been doing and transitioning over to those digital head sculpts and making them better. And will time prevail and tell us, and make me get, not buy SH Figure Arts and stick with Hasbro Black Series?
I do the opposite. I do the exact opposite of you, Dom, though.
Mhm.
Like, you buy Black Series and you do filler with SH Figure Arts.
Mhm.
I do Figure Arts, I do filler Black Series.
Yeah.
And
believe
the
me.
reason I do that is not so much because of the, I get it. They stepped their game up. They're doing that whole, new paint and whatever. But at the end of the day, the articulation for me means a lot more. Like, you're getting a better toy.
I agree.
You might be paying more money, but you're getting your money's worth. I mean, presentation, the paint on those things are phenomenal. The articulation's better.
I'm not disagreeing with you there, Dave.
Yeah.
It's just, for me, I started collecting Black Series at the beginning. It's something that I'm into. Yes, I feel disappointed when those human characters come out and the face sculpts just are horrible. Crooked eyes, by the way. But the thing is that
it's the paint apps, right? I mean, the sculpts are usually pretty good, but the paint apps
are horrible on the faces.
Materials for me.
Yeah,
because I got, I wanted to get a whole cast of Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came out, I was like, man, I would really love to have a shelf of, these characters, and I went out, and that was like my first foray into Marvel Legends, right? And that was like when they also started doing the digital paint. And, at first I was like, oh, these look really good. And then I got the Fig Arts Star-Lord, and it was a done deal. And it was just the articulation, the materials. Like, Marvel Legends, they're a good product, but they're kind of gummy in comparison. And, there's just a lot of thoughtful joint cuts and tolerances and option parts, and the paintwork is more believable. Like, when I got the Star-Lord, I was like, this looks just like Chris Pratt. And then when I got the SH Fig Arts one, it looked like Chris Pratt looking at a bad sculpture of himself in a wax museum.
I agree with you
just
there.
reverse that, Jordan. Was the Legends the wax museum and the Fig Arts not, or what's
the Legends was the wax museum?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was getting ready when we were talking about this topic. I was thinking for myself, I was going to say Figure Arts, but if they can't fucking make an Alex Guinness head, fuck them. I can't trust anyone anymore.
So
But that's the thing.
You know?
That's the thing, Brian. SH Figure Arts is not perfect. Like, I know sometimes people complain about their ankle articulation. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. So it's like every company has their little flaws, and for me, it's about monetary. It's monetary for me, to the point where
money for you?
Yeah, money for me.
Dominomics? Money? Okay, no, I'm just.
Right. Someone Photoshop a tombstone with Dominomics on it.
No.
I'm just making sure I follow.
SH Figure Arts is like, they're expensive. They're $60 to $80 a figure. So it's
not
like
at Silicon, they're not.
Yeah, well,
Not when I'm shopping for
If
them.
you get lucky. Yeah, you get lucky.
I
Yes,
got
Brian,
$90 the other day.
not on solo.
It's
Absolutely right.
It's strange, how their figure quality is like so high, but sometimes you're right. Like, I feel like sometimes they do drop the ball, and especially I feel for the face sculpts, like this Obi-Wan that they're putting out. I felt like they dropped the ball on the Civil War Captain America. Like that dude just had a blank stare. They make good figures, but
when you pay that premium price, you're expecting that to get that shit to get right, and them to really make that shit right.
And it's not just I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
No, that's fine.
I was just gonna say, it's not just the face sculpts and the paint, right? I've got a Marvel Legends Black Widow on my shelf because Fig Arts didn't do her enough justice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
they didn't disappoint you with that Harley, though, right?
No, they did not.
Harley.
But to go to exactly what you just said, right? I mean, the Fig Arts also comes with multiple hands, multiple faces.
You're paying for that, Gary. Dave, you're paying for that.
Obviously, you're paying for it, but you're also getting the articulation, the paint, the fucking the better sculpt. Like, you gotta account
for the
for
face.
the presentation, the box. I mean, everything. I mean,
Those
look,
boxes
it's
are
gonna admit,
small, man.
Every
They're
face
not that
is
big.
every face ain't gonna be perfect.
Well,
I'm not crazy about the Han Solo, but people are. People think that's a great looking SH figure art.
What
But
that
if
just
you
brought up
compare
Harley.
it,
Fucking Harley
So
looks
has
incredible.
anybody seen the Obi-Wan in person, or are we just going off of photographs?
photos.
Just photos.
You know what?
That's-
Honestly,
that's-
like it's been brought up those, but I honestly don't think he looks that bad. Like I don't think so. I think he looks like
You're all
How many
insane.
beers did you
No.
drink?
So I'm gonna pose a question, I guess, because we were talking about kind of like this standard, right, and what we hold in high regards. Look, I don't have like a photographic memory, but a few of you guys like Dave and Dom, you threw out Takara, right, for Masterpiece. But aside from Sunstreaker, I swear if we go back and listen to the halls and what we were most excited about, no one's mentioned like a Takara Transformer for, I don't know, what feels like forever to me until Sunstreaker came back out.
Because what was the one before that?
said Dinobot?
Megatron?
I don't know. That's
Bringing it back to Transformers now.
Yeah, it's not, no, but see, so the
No, I'm
other
just
thing I was just gonna say was like, I hear you guys talk about like articulation or price points or quality, but where does your personal enjoyment come into what's like your standard for yourself, or does it not?
So for me, it's like when you get a figure that just wows you, be it the feel of the materials, the sculpt. Like a recent one was the movie Masterpiece Barricade, and a lot of people were hating when that figure before it was even released, right?
All right, Jordan, stop talking about that thing. All right,
Hey,
stop.
it's a good figure, and nobody's giving it the time of day, and it's a figure that when you have it in hand, it looks so much better than the pictures, and I don't know how it's going to get reviewed, but I'll be bringing it to my meetup in a couple of weeks if you want to check it out. But I think it's a figure that really wowed me, and it was something I went into with not the highest expectations, but I have an attachment to not to the character Barricade, but that was like the first movie figure I got. I had a 2005 Mustang when the movie came out, and I was really looking forward to it for that at least. And it was just like the feel of the figure, the unique transformation, the engineering, the cleanliness of the paint, and just the little surprises. And those are things that I always appreciate is when there's a transformer that doesn't conform to a mold. Like right now with the main lines, we're getting like the same tooling on every figure, just about, or like three unique toolings. And with Masterpiece, we kind of fell into that for a little bit too. Like it was like, well, how many new ways are there to do it? Then you get the Masterpiece Megatron and Sunstreaker, and then this Barricade and some of the movie stuff. It kind of reinvigorates the magic, the puzzle element of Transformers, and it's complex, but it's not overly engineered. Like you get something like the G Creation stuff, and it's frustrating. Keith's Fantasy Club, Bad Cube, it's frustrating. But Takara seems to always find this sort of balance that works and makes it magical. And I think that, to me, also contributes to the gold standard, where you've got the perfect balance of something that looks good in hand, poses well, and it's fun getting it back and forth to both modes.
Yeah, and when the figure has all those qualities that you just mentioned, the fact that it's actually official, I think, puts that little bit of extra shine on it. It needs to be said. I think that says a lot. For being like an official product. Like, look, I agree. But I think our answers are going to be different. Basically, when we're comparing lines, because if you're going to go with Masterpiece Transformers, then I'd say yes, Takara is the gold standard. They invented the line. They're the standard that we adhere almost every other figure to. But then, like, if you're still a Chug collector, like I love what MMC is doing, and they don't hit a home run every single time, but they have a very high standard of quality for their product in most cases, and pretty much I've enjoyed every single figure that I've picked up from them. I haven't picked up everything, but everything that I have gotten, I've enjoyed. So I could almost place them as that company could be considered a gold standard for that particular line of figures. So
you're saying like reputation.
I want to say Fans Toys as well, because they're really the only other company. You have KFC and X Transbots, who can be said they're similar, sister companies, they make figures that fit that masterpiece aesthetic, but I think Fans Toys is the third party company that does it the best.
Yeah,
and,
I think
and of course they seem to have just the best reputation out there.
I agree with you. And like if you think about it, name a Fans Toys Transformer that came out that you replaced with something else. There's not many out there.
Yeah.
You know?
I think with regards to third party, yes, Fans Toys is definitely a golden standard. But I just feel
Perceptor.
But I feel like with MMC, they have like a little niche market to themselves. Nobody's making those characters. Nobody's does those characters. And on a chug scale, that's the only way to get those characters. So
I want to say something controversial too about Fans Toys.
But with Fans Toys, it's like I think people love that approach, Fans Toys, and I would love to adopt that approach because I'm sick of buying all your X Transbot, and then all of a sudden Fans Toys comes out with something better, and then you're buying Fans Toys, and then when the official comes out with it, you're buying the official. So it's like we're just shooting ourselves in the foot, in buying all these figures for the best representation of that character, and I just hate it because I just feel like if the official just speed up a production and actually do these figures that we all are looking forward to, I think it just save a lot of money and stuff like that.
I don't want to beat the freaking KO stuff at all, so that's not where I'm going with this. But what's official? So I look to my right, and I have a Figma Deadpool, a Play Arts Kai Deadpool, Hot Toys Deadpool, and a Sideshow Deadpool.
They're all
so
licensed.
Which of those is official?
They're all
officials.
They're official license.
Yeah, they're all official.
So it's licensed, but that the license doesn't mean it's quality.
No, you're right.
Well, but like the official, if it's like the one and only, doesn't mean it's quality either. I mean, there have been a ton of. Look at NECA. I think NECA is the only company that's making 1/12 scale Aliens figures right now, and some of those have just fallen apart out of the box.
I think what it was, the Angry Christian brought it up. Like with SH Figure Arts and Black Series, there is a degree of separation in regards to cost. Now, is that separation so wide enough to basically convince yourself that I'm going to buy that $60 figure because it's so much better? It's $60. It's triple the value of what I would get from a Black Series figure. Then that's the question that you have to ask yourself. Whether, and I think it's been asked in the Transformers community with regards to Sunstreaker, is Sun Surge is the official Sunstreaker $100 worth more than the Sunstreaker that we already have? That's a question that you have to ask yourself. If you say yes to it, then you're definitely going to buy that more premium figure. But
yeah, well, if money's not an issue, if money is an issue, I can see that being somebody's problem or somebody's thought of how they're gonna go about their collection. But if money is of no consequence and you can spend it as you want it, you're gonna want the best thing that you can possibly have in front of you. Yeah. So why go and settle for something just because you can pick it up at the local corner fucking Toys R Us? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm not defending SH Fig Arts or my habits or whatnot, but I try not to purchase them at that premium price. You know what I'm saying? And you can say the same thing with Black. I started Black Series late, so I started paying premium prices for shit that was $15, $20. I was paying double. I was paying $40, $50 for some of that stuff.
I think the thing is, it's like when we have something that we're really passionate about, we all flock to complete that collection as soon as we can. And when it's the first version of the character released, we hop on it because there's always that gamble, right? Where if you don't get it when it comes out, you may be paying a premium down the road. Then again, I've been in the opposite boat too, where I hopped on something, I paid a premium for it when it came out, like that Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, and now it's on clearance for $100.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know. I just find it interesting. So everyone on this panel at some point has talked about buying a Black Series Star Wars figure. I don't remember the last time someone was super excited about their Black Series. They were excited to say that they either got it because it was a new release and it was hard to find. They got it because it filled. But no one on this panel really got that excited about her. I know, some reviewers did, but nobody here really talked that much about it. I don't know.
A couple of points.
Yeah, but I remember Brian, on an old show when you got that the Guardians Gamora, right? and you talked about like the
That
paint, right?
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, and you were like excited about it. So it's just an observation. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if sometimes we buy things sort of out of habit, or the standards are different because we're looking at it from an economical standpoint or scarcity standpoint, or it fills that spot.
For me, Gary, like I as I collect Black Series, I am excited when new figures are announced. I might not show it, but I am excited for certain figures that come out that that we haven't gotten already. But in regards to both Black Series and SH Figure Arts, Black Series have been pushing out more figures and more characters actually faster than SH Figure Arts. So it's like you got some characters in Black Series that SH hasn't done yet. So like some people buy the Black Series just like they treat Black Series maybe as third party, to where they fill that character for the time being with Black Series until SH Figure Arts puts it out. So it's like it's funny when you go and see things like that are happening, and and I like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy SH Figure Arts. I like what they do with the human characters and how close they get to the representations of those characters. Now, if Hasbro makes that step and really, starts getting their head scopes on Mark, I think I'm going to ask that question to myself and say, do I really want to spend a $60 figure for something that's giving me, which articulation is not my top priority in regards to a figure, but I want the sculpt to be there. I want the representation to be there, the likeness to be there. And if Black Series can give it to me at that price point, I will rather buy a $20 figure rather than a $60 figure.
But Dom, after the Figure Arts comes out, do you think people feel a little bit of regret, perhaps, maybe that they got a placeholder of Black Series?
Or you meaning like if they spent the $20 and then the Figure Arts is a lot better?
Well, maybe they ultimately feel disappointed later on. It's like, oh, maybe I should have waited.
Should have waited for the
I think,
yeah.
But I think that was
that's
the Black Series layer.
Yeah, and I think that's human nature.
That's going to depend on the
individual. We want it now. We want a representation of that figure now. That's why third-party Transformers survives as much as it's surviving, because we want those characters now. We're not going to be waiting 10 years, 15 years down the road for official to do it. So I think that first to market type of attitude is all within collectors. We want to grab it. We want to have it now. And certain people, we're always going to run through that road trap and buy those figures just to have a representation for the time period. And then once some other buddy does it better, we're going to put out the money to buy that one at that time. So it pisses me off, but it's just, that's the name of the game. That's what we do, and it's unfortunate, but
I think the regret's going to depend on the individual, because then it's like you said, you have to like weigh it to yourself as an individual. Like, is this, premium figure like to you? Because even the Angry Christian in the chat, he made a good point. The Black Series, $60 versus $20. Like, do you think that you're getting a figure that's 3 times better with SH Figure Arts? And that's very subjective. Like, sometimes you might, and sometimes maybe no. You said you're not into articulation, and that's where SH Figure Arts excels. And you know what? From what I see, not doing a bad job as far as giving you the sculpts and the looks of these characters, and they're giving you a ton of fucking characters.
So I want to give you an example, right, of the two. So now you have Anakin, right?
Yes.
Anakin came out for both Black Series and SH Figure Arts, correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the Black Series one goes for Big Bunny, does it not?
Yep,
it does,
How
because
much does it go for?
it was an end of the line figure
Right.
that came out at the end of the orange line that came out that set, that wave, and it was, people just didn't jump on it because the fact that they
Right,
thought
What's
it was
it
shitty.
go for though? Like right now in the market,
It'll go for a good $90, $100.
$90, right?
Yeah.
So now you got a $15, $90 toy because it's hard to get. Just like SH Figure Arts Anakin, that is $100, roughly 110, 120, wherever you're looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
That looks way better than the Black Series one.
Not going to argue that.
And Dave, and your point is, it's like to someone who was collecting back then, right, when that figure was out, or who's into the line, and they didn't buy it solely because it was at the end of the line. People left it because it was ugly and it didn't look good, and you couldn't do anything with it. But again, like we said, someone else comes into the collecting world, and now they have to fill that hole and get that figure. So.
And that you hit it exactly there, Gary. The price is driven up because of the fact that you got people looking to collect it all, and they need to pick up that Anakin. So nobody has it. If the supply is short, the demand is high, that price is going to go up even on a crappy figure like that. But like the thing is that yes, there is an alternative, and that SH Figure Arts is a great figure. The likeness is better than the Black Series, but the thing is that if you're a Black Series collector, you're going to want to collect the whole line, and that might be a void that you want to fill, and you're going to reach into your pockets to fill that void.
I also think that the import sites are a big reason why I collect Fig Arts, and maybe some people are like kind of like gearing towards the Black Series stuff because it's easy to obtain. Maybe they don't know where to shop. You know what I'm saying? So you might be saying, oh, SH Fig Arts is $60 a figure. But if you get it from an import site on sale, you might be paying $25, $30 for a SH Fig Art figure, as opposed to $20 for a fucking, a Hasbro.
Or even Amazon, you could get some good deals.
It's all how you shop.
Yeah,
and
shopping is important.
But again,
I agree with you, Dave.
I'll just challenge: are you excited about the figure you're getting because of it's what you want, or are you excited because you're getting a $60 retail figure for a good price?
Well, that's it's funny because like when we do hauls on the show and stuff like that, and the excitement factor, like when we're running down our shit, when is anybody ever like, oh my God, I'm so fucking happy, like I got this thing? Like, do you think that's fatigue? You think we buy too much, we bombard ourselves, like we just get so much shit that we're like numb to it.
I know, like
100%.
Yeah. Like I feel like that's what it is, but that piece that will just make you realize, like, man, this is why I fucking collect. Like Jordan felt with the Masterpiece Sunstreaker. And like I said, like when I'm not the type of person as far as Transformers are concerned. Like I said, if it comes in bot mode, it usually stays that way.
Right.
But that figure was in alt mode. I'm going through that transformation. You did and had that experience, and it was like oh man, this thing is cool, and it is the transformation, everything that it entailed. I totally felt that's Masterpiece all the way, and it did get me excited, and it made me want to pull some Masterpiece figures out of their boxes and transform them and put them on the shelf for a bit, because I took my display down, and I love when a figure could do that, and we don't get that all the time.
Jose, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about just was it like last week? What about Feral Rex?
Yeah.
Like right?
Yeah, dude, same thing. Those figures, were in boxes, for over a year at least. I had that figure on display for the longest time, boxed it up because I have to rotate my display. And I pulled them out like on a whim on a random Saturday just to mess around with some stuff, and it made me realize like why I still collect and love this stuff, just here's that, and and like I said, we were talking about the gold standard as far as companies and figures, and it could really be different companies, for different lines that they produce. MMC has always been like a favorite company, and taking those figures out and messing with them again, not without their flaws, but just the enjoyment that I'm getting out of them is like, man, this is why I still do this.
That's what I was kind of thinking about when I know you posted some pictures of that kind of in some of our chats and stuff for the people who couldn't see it now or listening, but I just thought that was what's cool. It's like that phrase, right? It's not having what you want, but wanting what you have. So when the fatigue sets in because you have stuff coming in so often and life doesn't give you the chance to kind of spend time and enjoy the lighter things. I don't know. I just think that's interesting, because you were able to rediscover, being really excited about something. And I've kind of found something similar when I do have the rare occasion on a day off from work and there's not stuff to do for the house or other, just other obligations that come up, and just enjoying the stuff that you already have. It's amazing sometimes that you don't have to constantly be adding to it to have, take pleasure in what you got.
Yeah, and that's a good
Just
point,
thoughtful. Just thoughtful.
because Chinese New Year is upon us, so we're gonna wind up going through that drought. Usually this is the time of year where not a lot of things are being released, and it was good to kind of like look back on things that we already have and that maybe we might usually just not pay attention to already, and you just kind of take that time to kind of go back and mess with things, and you kind of rediscover why you enjoyed it like in the first place. Like I definitely got that, and it doesn't always have to be about the new piece that you're getting. You could enjoy what you already have. All of us have a ton of shit. Are we really appreciating it?
I think
Ah,
sometimes
Maybe
the
realize
spoiled
that
brats.
messing with
Yeah.
those yeah, for sure.
For me, sometimes it's the time. I like getting my stuff and getting it up on a shelf, and like I'm a busy guy. I'm sometimes I end up working like 60-hour weeks, and then I've got my stuff with the gym, and then I've got all the stuff we do to get the show ready, and it's hard to find the time to sit down and enjoy toy. And I've had the DX9 Power Glide on my shelf for like, when did that thing come out? Like September.
Yeah, it's already been like 5 months at least.
Yeah, I just transformed it for the first time, and I was like, man, why wasn't I messing with this thing sooner? But I just wanted to get him posted on the shelf, and he just sat there with my mini bots. And I don't know what got into me. Like one day I was just bored, and I was just like, let me check this guy out, and I started transforming him, and it was a hell of a time. And it's those things too that really kind of help with justifying my collection. And it's not just checking a box off. It's knowing that I have like this whole realm to discover in my shelves.
Yeah. I mean, just looking, all the fears. I'm sure you could spend weeks and weeks and weeks just messing with each and every single one of them again. And when was the last time you really picked any one of those figures up that are in your display?
That's
like we basically have gold mines, in our places, and it's like, are we really like truly appreciating it?
Right.
Messing with those MMC figures made me think. Definitely made me think. And I was the type that I was like, man, I'm not the type that likes to transform things back and forth. I don't want anything to break. I don't mind a simpler transformation just because you could flip things back and forth, relatively easy and enjoy them. But I found myself like, man, like this more complicated stuff is good. I don't mind it. Like the materials are holding up. I don't have any fear of breaking it, with the stuff that's well made. And it felt good. Like it was like rediscovering something about myself. Like I didn't think I liked to transform these things, and it seems like I enjoy it quite a bit.
But that I think you touch on a point, Jose, because as a collector, you have to understand yourself, and if you enjoy articulating your toys and taking them off the shelf and playing with them and taking the photos, putting them in these articulated moves and really enjoying that, then obviously if you do that, then you're looking for the company that can give you that. And typically for Star Wars, that's HJ's Figure Arts. But like if you're not that type of collector, then you have to ask yourself, do I really want to buy or put out the extra money to get that piece, or should I just I'm just looking for the best sculpt, the best likeness, and I'll save money if another line can provide me at a lower cost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like if you're talking Transformers, like the open play stuff that they dropped, it looks fine, but it may not be
articulated,
the gold standard or articulated how you want it.
One of the things I've always thought about Black Series, like if you think about the original 3 3¾ figures that came out for Star Wars, right? How they didn't look like the actors?
No,
right?
Not at all.
It was an homage of the characters.
They looked like He-Man.
To me, I feel like Black Series is an homage of the old 3¾ figures, right? It's to homage the character's resemblance, not the actor. You know what I mean? And I kind of get that. I don't know if that's what was their intention, but I think it's charming.
To add to that, like for me, like I used to be really hard into the 3¾ inch line for Star Wars, and collecting the Black Series, like I've lately, I might not act so excited, but like I'm pretty excited troop building the shit out of these. Like when I got these Tauntauns and the Wampa, I was super, super excited. But it kind of takes me back to then when I was collecting the 3 3/4 inch line. So it's like I just started that all over again. Is kind of how it feels for me. And
I can appreciate that feeling. I think that sounds cool.
Yeah.
And from a Hasbro perspective, that's a risk that they took. Like, they made Star Wars the 3 3/4 because the fact that they fit in vehicles, and the vehicles were important. Same thing with Joe's. Joe's is the same thing.
Yep.
But when they took that risk and say, let's go into the 6-inch, and Marvel Legends, Marvel characters were always like, they did have the 3 3/4, but they were known for their 6-inch figures, and there was no vehicles for all the superheroes and stuff like that. It's just the figure itself. So when Hasbro took that chance in bringing Star Wars to the 6-inch figures, they didn't know that it was going to take off as it did, and it is. And I encourage them to do that with GI Joe, because I think people would buy 6-inch figures, GI Joes.
Yeah,
because they don't. Vehicles are cool and everything, and Hasbro Black Series have provided us vehicles. They didn't. It's not like they didn't. And Joe's also have some smaller vehicles. They don't have bigger vehicles. They can do the smaller vehicles.
Plenty of smaller vehicles that they could do.
They can do.
So
I think Hasbro should license GI Joe out to like Mezco or something.
I would love
anybody.
Feels like a good soft goods kind of toy to me.
It does.
GI Joe Transformers, like official ones, because then they could get the Joe collectors to come back in, and they would have them coming in buying Transformers, and then you'd have the Transformers collectors buying GI Joes, and we could get some really cool. And again, like Hasbro and their pricing, and it's out of whack. They could come back and say, look.
That's a tight line that if they go that route, they're gonna piss off Transformer collectors. They're gonna piss off GI Joe collectors.
They don't have to. That's the thing. They could,
but
I wouldn't scale though. Like they would.
Yeah, it wouldn't scale, right?
Have to have a Transformer.
Well, okay, so maybe not doing 3 3/4, but do it like Human Alliance did it, and
Yeah, but I just feel that there's so much room for fuck up, and they'll fuck it up. And
but if they did simple transformations like fold down nose cone, arms and legs pop out, but you can fit a Joe in there.
Yeah, but like the thing is that they have success with the Black Series, and it's proven. Yeah. So take a line like GI Joe and do something that's already proven.
Keep it nice and simple. Just do the fucking
watch
6-inch figures
and just watch the money roll in. That's pretty much what it's going to be.
I see. I know a lot of people want the GI Joe line to move towards like the 6-inch scale, but like, do you think that's something viable for Hasbro? Because I know like a big appeal for GI Joe is like the vehicles and stuff, and that means the vehicles have to be bigger.
The funny thing is, Jose,
that something that's cost effective?
The funny thing, Jose, is that I'm not a Joe collector. As a kid, I didn't buy that many Joes, but I always had that outlet with my neighbor who was a big Joe collector. But if they came out with 6-inch figure Joes, I would buy it. I would buy just the fact that I think it would be cool. They probably do a good job with it because the Black Series has been doing good, and I think they would really, really do a good job. And
it's not really like they have to model it after any actors or anything.
Not at all.
That's a true point. Yeah,
the playability.
I'm talking like in correlation with like vehicles though, like because that was like a big aspect.
But they could still do that though. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of smaller vehicles that they could do.
Oh yeah,
and I mean, what they're doing with the Black Series, I mean, $60 price point or whatever. It's I don't care. I would buy them.
I think that Black Series TIE Fighter kind of showed Hasbro like what the limitations are. Hence, we never got a Black Series X-Wing to go on.
Yeah, but they also chose that Bobo fucking post trilogy crap. To do it. If they did an original TIE Fighter, who knows what it would have
Exactly.
But
you know what? If they did the original, I bet you that would fight off the shelf more.
And that's why JD's making his own. But
that's right.
To go back to Joe's, like, it is about the vehicles. But guess what? I think in the 3 3/4 scale, Hasbro fucking nailed it. They've nailed it for 30 years, right? They could just re-release that stuff if they want. But go ahead and release just 6-inch figures just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
so you can see, right?
It has a good playability too because of everything else that's out there. That's 1/12 scaled or whatever.
Yeah.
You could mix them. For the toy photography, for just like Instagram. People's random pictures.
Yeah.
You could mix and match them with the Mezco stuff, with the Fig Arts, with the Black Series and the Legends, and it would all be pretty cool. It's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, make
So-
some Jeeps,
Yeah, when you-
make some Jeeps or something, make the Thunder Machine. But as for that, I mean, why don't they just do encore releases of the 3 3/4 stuff? They'll still make money.
So okay, so
Yeah.
the 6-inch GI Joe stuff. Like, who here all collected GI Joe as a kid?
I still
did.
have.
I had some.
What,
Yep.
what did you have more of? Did you have more vehicles or did you have more figures?
More figures.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
easier to get
I mean,
$5
Well, that's because our parents weren't trying to spend the $25 for those.
Yeah.
vehicles.
Well, yeah,
But
but
like-
I mean,
But like what JD brought it up, they did the land speeders for Black Series. There is plenty of GI Joe vehicles the size of a land speeder
Uh-huh.
that they can make,
Mhm.
and you can fit a
Mhm.
6-inch figure into it. So it's and if they can keep it at that 50 to 60, maybe even $45 price point, people are gonna buy it. People buy it.
So you think? All right. So you think it do well, but so on for your opinions though, like for here, like if you're into GI Joe, would you buy the NBN on a GI Joe line 6-inch, even if there
I
were
told you,
no
like, Jose,
vehicles attached to it?
I never got into the GI Joe as a kid. Like I had a couple
Yeah.
figures here and there. Like I said, my friend was that void that I filled to play with those figures. But like I can tell you right
Yeah.
now, if they came out with a 6-inch and put some 6-inch vehicles that would cost around $45-$50, I would buy it. I would buy it just to have that representation
Yeah.
on a shelf, just to
Mhm.
cover the line
Right.
that I said, you know what, I enjoyed watching the cartoons. Cartoons was a big part of it in my childhood, and
Mhm.
just to have a representation on my shelf for that, I would buy that line,
Mhm.
no problem.
Yeah.
What Dave said is all just the fact that you can figure any other figures in that 6-inch scale. Marvel Legends, DC. That is a big appeal. It would be nice to see Duke. Alongside Batman, Superman. For the people that do stuff, it's awesome.
Yeah,
It's a
Cobra
crossover.
Commander with the Emperor or fucking Vader or some
Yeah.
shit. It would be sick.
Yeah,
That would
yeah,
be sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
mhm.
Well, before with the fig arts talk and stuff, like we were bringing up like the price versus like what you're getting, and I know we've definitely, picked up pieces as far as like placeholders. So like, have you guys regretted any pickups where they've actually put out like another figure where you're like, oh, okay, this is the one. Like, why did I buy this one?
Well,
Of course.
Oh, absolutely.
recently that happened with they just put that render out for fucking for this dude
Blur.
Blur, exactly.
Oh, the
So
Blur.
now
Yeah, Caesar,
you know,
that's a perfect example.
got
Yeah.
people wanting to dump that other one
Unique
that
Toys.
came out, Unique Toys and Runman, right?
See,
Runman it's
yeah.
called.
See,
It was
Running
buzzing.
Man. Yeah, see-
Is what he was
Oh,
reading.
Buzzing.
buzzing. That's
Unique
it.
Toys, but that's like a weird situation because like how long, how old is that figure at this point? It's at
2
least
years, I
years,
think.
right? We we don't know if Takara or Fans Toys or any other company are going to be putting out like a representation of a specific character. So with buzzing, like was that figure so bad that it's like, damn, why did I buy this? Because now Fans Toys is coming
So let me flip this on its head a
out
little
of
bit.
it, so I gotta get it.
Everybody, like, for the most part, likes Howling Meteor, right? And that's a third-party figure that a lot of people consider as superior to the official Starscream mold. So
Mhm.
what about that? I mean, like I like to say on this show is that there's always going to be a better version of the figure. Like, like when it came to the SOC Voltron, and I hate to go back to that route. I know we
Take a
have-
shot, motherfucker.
Take a shot.
You thought you was getting through a show without it, right?
People were upset that they missed out on that. But, go back. People were upset that they missed out on the Matty Collector version back when that was the definitive Voltron, right?
Yeah.
So, there's always going to be a better version for beloved characters that's going to come out. When you're dealing with something like Wheelie or Blur, you got to hedge your bets a little bit. But when it comes to the big guys, we didn't know that we were going to see a better Megatron because of gun laws and this, that, and the other. We had the MPO5, and we got a Polyon, and it was, well, are we going to get this or not? Boom, we got MP36. And, even before MP36, we had the Make Toys. We had the
DX9.
The DX9, yeah. And there's always kind of like this arms race to deliver us a good version of a character. I'm sure we've got the KO version of SOC Voltron coming out. Somebody's going to come out with something that's just going to top the SOC version, like complete torso articulation, butterfly joints. Just watch.
18 inches, 20 inches, bigger. And
I think we get ourselves into these corners where we're like, oh man, I missed out. We're never going to get a better version of this character, and it's never true.
I agree, and I agree with you, Jordan, because that's what we should, change our mentality and feel, because it's hard because we're so like tuned into the let's get the figure now, let's have it now. It's here now, and it hurts the collector at that aspect, because you only have a certain amount of residual funds, and if you're buying a figure,
listen, I disagree though. I don't think it hurts anybody, because if you're buying something, you need to. I shouldn't say you need to, because I'm projecting and telling people what to do with their money, but you would hope, I think, that someone enjoys what they're getting. So one thing we're forgetting about is there's a new version.
You're putting enjoyment into a fig. Like I agree. Like when I bought Apollyon, I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it.
Right. So you can't.
But now I have MP36, and I enjoy that figure. But it just, as somebody.
But it doesn't mean that Apollyon was completely worthless. Is the point?
I'm not saying that. It's
I'm
just
not saying you are. But
I'm wishing that the MP36 was out sooner.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to buy Apollyon.
But that's another topic, because.
But then why did you buy it?
Yeah.
Because it was out. I just had that. It's just that mentality of the.
But you just said because it was out.
Yeah, it was out.
Yeah.
It was out.
I mean, you had no choice. Apollyon was the only choice you had.
Yeah.
You didn't even have the main choice yet.
I don't know. I guess there's.
Look, 5 years from now, MP36 is going to be 5 years, 6 years in the fucking in the past. And we're no spring chickens. Are we going to be collecting Transformers at 65 years old when they fucking make a Megatron that fucking does everything under the sun?
That's how long it's going to take us to get our jet.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying, like, how long do we have to wait?
Because look at how many people are clamoring for a 3.0 version of Optimus Prime.
No one.
No
one is.
No. Don't say no one, Brian.
All right, just one guy.
No.
One guy.
Yeah.
Version 3 Optimus.
But
I think I'm looking at 30 versions right now. So like,
I said that too. I said that I was probably going to redo that too.
We always know they're going to put bigger and better versions of these figures out. Like, to me, I feel like if you're going to have a feeling of regret, like Dom, I feel you. Like Apollyon, I bought it. Like, it was not the greatest figure, but it was the only thing we had. And then, Make Toys didn't put their version out a year and a half later.
Right.
And then the year after that, now we finally got MP36.
But you can't be upset.
I can't.
But y'all regret.
You can't be upset with Apollyon.
Right.
That was
y'all regret going with that Transbots. You all settled.
No, listen. Everyone on this panel. I'm very confident to say everyone on this panel and probably everyone listening to this show has a smartphone, right? Yet go back to 2006. I'm sure everyone had maybe not everyone had a cell phone back then, but they had a flip phone and they were excited that it had a camera, right? So you can't get upset at that flip phone with a camera that you enjoyed so much, because now technology is different. You know what I mean? It's like you can't get upset and say in 2006, I wish I had my iPhone that I do now. It doesn't make any sense to me.
The best analogy there is it's like getting a car almost too, or a computer. There's always, but that was my point, is that there's always going to be a bigger and better version coming out. So don't act like you've missed out, but you can enjoy it now.
But Gary,
I think where you could bitch. No, go ahead.
That's what Gary, I understand what you're saying. I completely understand. I think that's where the culture should be. I'm just saying, I think that's where we should be.
But we control it, Dom. We control it. It's our culture.
I'm not. I know. I understand that.
So another thing too, not to cut you off, Dom, but how much of an influence is the community on this? Like, how much of an influence is, the new version comes out and it's like, oh my God, this is the best version ever.
But you see it in the community, like with the buzzing. When now Fans Toys is putting out a fucking Blur, everybody's selling off the buzzing, and they're selling it off. Why? Why are they selling it off? Because another figure is coming out better, and they're selling out to recoup their. They're not going to recoup it fully.
Well, we don't know it's better.
Well, we don't. But like everybody's now assuming that it's going to be better, and because it's Fans Toys and they have they got a great track record. But the
Well,
thing
it
is
looks
that
better in my
horrible.
opinion,
it,
like overall.
but the thing is that you
but
see
buzzing
it
came
in the
out years
community
ago,
all
so
the
you can't
time. You
regret
see
buying
it.
buzzing.
Yeah. Well, it's like
Everybody
I got,
then just sells off their buzzing. Why
I
am
got
I
it
selling
in
off my buzzing?
Monopoly.
I'm not going to sell off my buzzing because
I'm not.
I don't believe in that. I believe what you're saying, Gary. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I believe what you're saying because I enjoy that figure. It's going to stay in my collection, and it's not worth me
Shit.
selling it off for $70, $60. I'll rather
Dom,
keep
you're
it.
making me nervous. What if my wife says in 5 years she wants like a newer, better model? What am I going to
Believe
do?
And sometimes women do that. Okay.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's fucked up.
Gary, that's why you got to keep hitting the gym. Get that
Hey,
six pack going.
Exactly, right? That's the thing, right?
Hey, Dom, thanks for reminding me. NJCC sell list. Unique toys buzzing. I'm just adding that in.
Oh, fuck that. I'm selling mine for cheaper than you are.
But
So.
like, exactly. Let's see how many buzzings they're going to be fucking on the tables.
Yep.
On
I'm
at
giving mine
NJCC.
away tonight. Fuck that.
Really?
You know?
You heard it, folks. He said it here.
And even like Dust put his up and he sold it and he got rid of it. The thing is that like I said, if there's going to be a better one, there's always going to be a better one. I agree with that. It's just that we as a community like feel like there is a certain enjoyment of a figure that we buy at a specific time, and we shouldn't feel that any type of regret when a new better one comes out because we enjoyed that figure at that time. It's just I see that regret, and I have it sometimes too. I feel sometimes when I bought the Apollyon and I bought the Make Toys, and now I bought the official. It's just like, did I really need to buy all three? Should I just been patient and just waited for the official to come out? So these are all the things that we tackle as collectors with the Transformers community, and I think we need to talk and understand the collecting habits that we do, and not have that much regret because it just puts a negative damper on the whole community as a whole.
Absolutely.
And I know the saying, patience save pockets, but patience is kind of boring.
It is. It is.
It's fucking boring.
I think the thing is we enjoy the here and now. Like we enjoy getting that new figure. We enjoy talking
Exactly.
about it. We
See?
enjoy
Yes.
messing with it. And that's what I said, it's like it kind of hurt for when I had that realization that I didn't enjoy that Power Glide when I first got it. But damn, here it is. It's awesome. And I think that's the important thing, is to make sure that as you're going along, you're enjoying the figures you're getting, that you're not just getting them to check off a box. And I'm guilty of that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I really am. And that's when I realized I need to slow down. Like I've been playing with this Omega, like nonstop, and I've really been enjoying it. But there are certain figures I don't do that, and I shouldn't. I should take the time to enjoy what I'm getting so I don't get burnt out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Brian,
It's like I said, I was like, man, let me start taking Saturdays and start using that as a day to maybe rediscover some of my older stuff and kind of fall back in love with the hobby, because again, like you said, I think we're so burnt out, and it really does feel like we're just checking items off a list, and that's not fun. We should be enjoying this stuff.
Having friends in the community helps. It's like it's cool to talk to you guys and like bring out a figure and unbroadcast it and mess with it. But like when I do the meetups, that's a great experience too, because everybody's sharing their figures and we're seeing other people appreciate stuff we have. And sometimes like I have the War Within Megatron, right? And people were loving that figure, and I was like, man, this thing is really cool. Mm-hmm. And it gave me even more appreciation for it. So it's like if you have friends in the collecting community, like I know Dave and Dom, you guys meet up, sometimes, but it's just like, do you guys get any, appreciation of looking at each other's respective collections and messing with a figure you necessarily don't have?
I always like playing with Dave. He's so fun to play with. You can pose him any way you want. He has great articulation.
Yeah, I even have a scratch and sniff option, bro.
He's worth it. He's worth every penny. Worth every penny.
Now I'm waiting for the official to come out because
I'm waiting for the knockoff. I'll wait for the knockoff.
Oh my God.
The upsized version.
Yeah. The oversized version.
I love you guys. I fucking love you guys. So hilarious.
Yo, Brian, how's the chat looking, man?
Brian Brank, word. I know the chat got to be going crazy. What's happening in the chat? It is crazy. It's definitely this topic, man. Definitely brought everybody out. Had them telling us what was going on, how they feel, all that good stuff. So why don't I just go through and see who is in here tonight?
And if you haven't chimed in yet, now is your chance, because as soon as I'm done reading out the last name, we're going to be putting them all into a list for a little giveaway. All right, so starting off, we had KJ Smith. We had Chat Winging him in here. EE Prime 20.
Wing.
We had Dapper Tryon. We had Alex C. Nick, Masterpiece Ship Piece. Oh, and he chipped his manicure today. Everybody say proud.
What the fuck?
Lord have mercy on Honey Child. And
Get
his
that shit fixed, Nick.
previously
back and
immaculate nails.
Go back and get them to glue that crap back on.
Just fucking chew them off. Good. Jesus.
He's got Valentine's Day ladybugs on him.
Mhm.
Oh, we had Rogue War 71. We had Retro Now in here. Alexandre B, Jason the letter L, BZ Fresh, Josh F, Shelf Warmer was in here. Ralph L was in here. Primacon, Jiraiya Sama 7, Knight of Ren, Sunday Heat, Chris Pinkerton, Lord Shadowkeeper, Dan Plastic Crack. We had Larry L in here. Larry L has been away for a while, but he's back. And he's
Larry,
doing well.
Leslie, what's up, bro?
Right, man.
Larry.
And so, Larry, stay strong, brother. I'm glad you're taking care of things. Let's see. We got True Star Screamer, Jason Y, Deluxe Baldwin. We had the other Jason L, Mr. Lowry was in here. We had Dare 2727, Eddie C, Eddie Dustmites, The Angry Christian, Dolcar Toys and Stuff, Minifigure Collector, Rob M, Mark 44 Prime, Katron, Eddie Frogman 78. Fucking lot of Eddies. Eddie. We got Abraham was in here. We had Lance and Nerd Out was in here as well. Let's see.
Awesome.
Let's see.
Should we shout Nerd Out when we say it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we had Paul L. Paul L snuck in here. And all right. I think that closes it down.
That chicken and waffles dude wasn't here today. Whatever his name
Chicken
was.
fried steak.
Chicken fried
Yeah.
steak. Where
You
you
better
at
get-
tonight, bro?
Yeah,
Dang.
chicken fried steak.
You better get your wife to log on, Dave.
Damn, bitch. What the fuck is she, man? Yo, I told you, chicken fried.
You're slacking. David slacking tonight. Oh, man. That's hilarious. Well, while Brian gets all that shit set up, let the people know it's my turn for the giveaway tonight.
Oh.
So, I'm going to give people a choice of two figures. You have a choice of either SH Figuarts Chun-Li.
Ooh.
And if you know what, I'd say pick this one, honestly, out of the two.
That is a fantastic figure.
Or SH Figuarts Ryu. So you got your choice, guys. Pick one out of the two. I'll send it to whoever wins the giveaway tonight.
Jose,
I'm gonna get.
I thought
Yeah.
you kept your ponytail. Maybe you were giving that away today.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Mm, you know what? I should have. But you know what? I had to let go, bro. I had to let go.
You know what Dave wanted to do is he wanted a Boba Fett costume and he wanted that to be like the Wookiee.
No, I just wanted to turn it into a whip so I could whip Dom in his butt with it.
Oh,
Oh, my
Jesus.
goodness.
Wow.
Something new for Thursday night.
well, we need Ansel Hazley to come in here. Spicy.
Yeah. So these figures are great. You know what? Like honestly, they're really incredible. But I'm gonna get out of this rabbit hole before I get into the. You know, I do collect Figuarts and I do love Street Fighter, but like I feel like you know what? Like I don't need like figures for Street Fighter. Like I enjoy the video games enough. Like I don't. You know, like I collect so much shit, you know, with Transformers, other Figuarts lines. Like I just feel like, man, just stay away and get out while you can. So my loss will be somebody else's gain. And, you know, the one that is still available will be going on the table at NJCC in just a couple of weeks. So be on the lookout for that.
Nice.
You can.
All right, guys, I'm ready. If you're ready.
All right, let's go.
All right,
do
we got 34 entries here. We actually do take out the people who won already, so sorry, no double winners.
Sorry, guys.
Let's see here. First, we do our list randomizer. And we also had someone else drop in here right there at the end, Gabriel E.
Gabriel.
So
Yeah,
welcome,
Yeah,
Gabriel.
that's not me.
You took Lance.
Go ahead, take Lance out. You said.
Yeah, take Lance P out of there. You don't need this Street Fighter Fig White.
Oh, Lance getting no love. I'm rooting for you, Lance.
All right, let's
Lance,
see who
Lance,
it
Lance,
is.
Lance.
Why did Brian really take him out?
No.
No.
He is probably pounding the keys right now.
How dirty would that be? You know.
That would be.
Lance is still at work right now, right?
Oh yeah. Running Forgotten Path games. He's saying "Shut up, Zero" in the chat.
Uh-huh.
But Dom's rooting for him. So
All right, here we go. 34.
Imagine it hits.
All right, generate.
If it hits, I'm going to AC.
Number 3. Woo!
Is that
Who's winning
Lance?
tonight?
That's Lance.
Oh,
Oh, fuck, Lance. You were 33,
Let's
my
see
buddy. I'm
who
sorry.
it is.
wow, my fingers getting tired. Deluxe. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Deluxe.
Deluxe.
Just
missed
Josh
out.
F.
Josh F.
Josh F.
Josh F.
Woo!
Nice.
Congrats, brother.
Congrats,
Josh.
man.
Josh F, if you're
Nice.
watching and listening right now, hit me up at HarriganBX or at breakingthemoldcast@gmail.com. Send me your details. Let me know which figure you want, and I'll get it sent out to you as soon as possible.
you know,
Congrats
Josh
again
F.
for
The
winning.
the key to this is saying both.
Man, I don't know which one I want.
So hard to
Both.
decide. So that's gonna conclude the giveaway, guys. I just want to say real quick, as far as like the giveaway thing, we're not really doing it for publicity or to get views or listeners, because otherwise we would have pushed the hell out of it, you know, a lot more than we did. It was basically just to give back to the community and everybody that's supported the ROC, everybody that supports the ROC Hangouts, and everybody that's supporting this new show, Breaking the Mold. And we really truly do appreciate it. You know, so we just want to thank you guys, and you know, stay tuned for future podcasts. You never know, you know, when's the next time you might win yourself some free shit. So
Could be next week. Could be the week after. Could be next month.
6 months
year.
from now, who knows? You know,
Yeah.
who knows? So with that being said, let's just run it down the line, get our goodbyes, and get some where you ats, and that'll be our show for tonight. So first up, Brian Brink.
Hey, yo, you can find me in the Facebook groups, Brian Brink, and on Instagram at Brinkalizer.
All right, Energon Addict.
Yo, Energon Addict on Instagram, Dave Cologne in the Facebook groups. Catch me talking about my feelings, Chris Pinkerton. Thank you.
Boy, Trinity stay.
All right, Big Dom.
You can find me on the groups at Dominic Rosso and here on Tuesday nights with these jackals.
Right, Extra Zero.
Yeah, so you can find me on the Facebook groups as James Jordan. You can find me on Twitter at The Original Zero. You can also find me on Xbox Live and PlayStation Network as Extra Zero. There's a space between the Extra and Zero on Xbox, so that's important so you don't friend the wrong guy and be like, who the fuck is this breaking the mold shit? You know?
Nice. JD.
You can find me, JD Brocious, in the Facebook groups. Pigment Surgery on Instagram and Xbox Live. Here with you guys Tuesdays, and this week, Thursday, new figure banging.
Figure
banging. Yeah.
Check it out.
Very cool. Yep.
Check it out.
Check out the new
No idea
mystery
what we're
figure.
doing.
I love it. All right, G Money.
Yeah, I am not online gaming anywhere, but Gary Allen in the Facebook groups and hanging out here on Tuesdays, and coming to NJCC in a couple weeks. So anybody who's going to be able to make it there should be a good time.
And bring your wallet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're
Speaking
gonna
of
get You're gonna get the best deals from the ROC, hands
Yeah.
down. I'll guarantee that for sure. And
Chugs.
as for myself,
Cheap
guys, Cheap Chugs. Shout out to
Cheap
Cheap Chugs.
Cheap Chugs.
As for myself, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, and the PlayStation Network, all at Harrick and BX. And here every single Tuesday night with these fine gentlemen on Breaking the Mold. Guys, before we head out, remember to check out our website, realmofcollectors.com. We have merchandise available to purchase. So check it out. We always appreciate the love and support from the community. Everything, any kind of profit that's made from any merchandise we sell just kind of goes back into what we're doing as far as podcasts and parties and future events for the community. So we, like I said, always appreciate the love and support. Remember to check us out on Facebook, where there's a group, Realm of Collectors. We're on Instagram at Realm of Collectors and on Twitter at Enter the ROC. Shout out to friends of the show, Figure Photography Crate on Instagram. That's our boy Tim K. Give that dude a follow. Shout out to Third Party Unlimited and TFPrototype.com. Guys, remember to pull up a chair to the Cool Table Network. It's a hub for like-minded podcasts, including Enter the Realm, Shattercast Uncut, Figure Bangin', Plastic Fanatics, Toy Detox, Nerd Rage Radio, Beer and Bolsters 40K, Stasis Block, 8 weeks, building up to it, Fresh Communications, and of course this show, Breaking the Mold. Send any What's in the Fucking Box and Shelf Life videos to Enter the Realm Cast at gmail.com. And any feedback or topics that you'd like us to cover, you could send that to breakingthemoldcast at gmail.com. That's going to be our show for tonight, guys. Thank you to everybody watching. Thank you to everybody listening. We are the ROC, so get to know us. We're going to be doing a ROC hangout immediately after this show. We'll be posting the link in the ROC Facebook group, so hop on in, hang out for a bit. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Word.
Later.
Take care.
See you guys. Have a good week.